June 1942. Crimea in the Soviet Union. 21-year-old anti-tank gunner Gottlob Biedermann prepares to open fire along with the rest of the German front.
Ready for action. Alternate armor piercing with high explosives. Fire! Reload! Adjusting! Fire!
This is the Kubelwagen. Captured Kubelwagen was taken to the United States for a series of tests. The Americans wanted to know if anything could be learned to improve their version of the machine.
We are the Automobile Association. We are the AA.
Field Marshal, you were always eager to strike early.
Operation Citadel is again delayed.
One day, two officers turn up at his home and they come into the house and they have this very brief conversation in which his options are given to him: kill himself or be put on trial.
As a husband and father, he does what the regime wants and commits suicide.
The German army had their own hard-working motorbike, the BMW R75. It was designed for a direct combat role.
I think it was a drive through the sidecar as well. And these, of course, they were fast, they were versatile, and they were very good for the reconnaissance route.
Hermann Göring, head of the German Air Force, is anxious for the Reimag factory to be built quickly. The German Air Force will smash them on the beaches. Göring needs as many planes as he can get and puts the pressure on Sauckel to get things moving. But he might be too late.
That didn't come from the factories of Germany, but the factories of France. In 1940, over 6,000 of these Citroën U-23 trucks were commandeered by the German army. They were badly needed.
Which basically made the Citroën U23 more reliable, and also it made its total laden weight.
The policy of using other nations' transport for their war effort had a dangerous flaw. The result was a wide variety of vehicles, each with different maintenance schedules and requiring different parts.
Mein Führer, the only feasible source of troops to block the Soviets' path to Berlin must be Courland. It is now the sole practicable solution.
I will not consider moving troops out. Courland must remain under our control. It will be vital when we strike back. I refuse to relinquish the Courland Peninsula. It must hold!
Rommel plans to inspect these three locations on his tour of Hitler's Atlantic Wall defenses. In the winter months, he reaches the Somme estuary.
Welcome, Field Marshal.
He's not impressed by what he sees.
Is this as far as your minefields stretch? They are only, what, 20 to 50 yards in depth. It should be 6 miles deep. And where are your reserves? You have to bring them forward, concentrate them at the coast. If the enemy sets foot on dry land, we will not be able to throw them out again.
I have done everything in order to ensure the success of the coming offensive. We must confront the enemy with ruthless aggression that will demonstrate once again that he can never reckon upon us surrendering. Never! Never!
Prisoners, making roads good for tanks. First, Germans did not look. Only Polyaki look.
Halt, komm! Bleiben Sie stehen! Halt! Was ist los? Komm! Was ist los? Erober! Schau mal!
Then I tell what I saw.
Along with improvements to his physical health, came improvements to his mental health. No longer was he the overweight, erratic drug addict that had arrived at Nuremberg. With Goering now in custody, the Allies were keen to commence with the very public war crimes trials at Nuremberg. The night before he was due to be hanged, Goering took a cyanide capsule, placed it in his mouth, and bit down to release the poison. Within moments, Goering lay dead in his cell.
So serious was the shortage of British pilots that training was cut down from 6 months to just 4 weeks. Some arrived on squadrons with only a handful of hours in Spitfires or Hurricanes.
They're not familiar with the machine and their training.
Britain stretched pilots of the Royal Air Force to their very limits.
You're dealing with finite resources. You've got men who can...
News of the extent of the destruction reaches Chief of the Luftwaffe, Reich Marshal Hermann Goering.
26,000 dead. And counting. Raging. Panic in the streets.
Hitler's director of air armament, Field Marshal Erhard Milch, urges the Führer that the Luftwaffe should develop a defensive strategy.
I will not tolerate these defeatist notions.
Gentlemen, the battles so far have been expertly fought. And by means of hard blows, I plan to have this enemy, who has already suffered a decisive moral defeat, down on his knees in the nearest future. To victory!
19-year-old gunner Otto Henning is returning from a reconnaissance mission with Rommel's Africa Corps.
The great battle, complete destruction of the enemy.
One afternoon in May 1942, a Feisler stork circled over our site and landed. I was able to take 2 pictures of him.
We were bombed no less than 6 times by British aircraft. On one occasion, I only just had time to throw myself into a slit trench.
This kind of mindset is what stands between defeat and victory. It is a political necessity.
August 10th, 1943, northeast Sicily. News filters back to Hitler's headquarters in East Prussia.
5 large convoys of ships heading towards the southeast coast of Sicily. It may very well be a diversionary attack.
One man who is not surprised to hear the news of the mass capitulations is Chief of German Forces in Italy, Field Marshal Albert Kesselring.
Fire! Everything happening in a matter of seconds. More and more aircraft are arriving, gliders coasting down to Earth.
Mussolini has been arrested. The traitors! Backstabbers as they are, they will of course proclaim their intention of continuing to fight.
This is the secret history of the miracle of Dunkirk. During the early stages of the Second World War, Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany was becoming the dominant force in Europe. After the successful invasion of Poland in September 1939, Britain and France had declared war. By May 1940, Germany had met little opposition in its attempt to conquer Western Europe. The army had employed a new kind of warfare, the like of which had never been seen before: blitzkrieg.
Mixed in with the yachts and the cruisers in the small port of Ramsgate in the southeast of England is a remarkable boat with a unique story. This is Sundowner. By the summer of 1939, The Nazis threatened all of Europe. War was imminent. The British government scrambled to prepare. One intelligence agency thought that even an old retired sea dog could play his part in these preparations. Why would British naval intelligence be interested in Charles Lightoller? Because he had proved himself to be a remarkable seaman with nerves of steel.
Why do the Brits win every war? Do they?